part I cried on? Hi, I saw Muppets Take Manhattan for the first time the other day, and I cried and I laughed. I'd never seen it. It's so beautiful.
It's my favorite one.
Yeah. And they when they all became babies, and they're like, love is real, and I was like, it is real, and I was like having a bad eclipse day or whatever, and they made it nice.
Have you had a good eclipse day and a bad eclipse day, or has it just been bad since the eclipse?
It's been, I will say, I'm understanding more about my character. I've made some decisions that I will back up, and I'm definitely being tested by the universe and some things. Like, I had to pay my roommate's rent because she was like, it's all bullshit anyway, and I'm like,
oh, wait a second. All right, we're gonna have to go into this after we're on the air.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to contact lawyers.
I don't know if I'm going to blame that on the eclipse. I think it's maybe more because she's not
not all there.
Get
this, she's so delusional, she still wants her security deposit back. People out here are crazy, man. I've never dealt with this.
I wish that I had that level of confidence.
Thank you, Panic Bhutan. I've got this. I'm an adult. I'm a full-grown woman. I'm going to contact lawyers. I probably shouldn't be talking about it on the show, so I won't. And we're going to take it one step at a time.
Drop her social security number.
Drop that bitch. I'm excited for the sheriff to come and throw her stuff out on the street.
I do think you should film it for just your own
pleasure,
later
so
on.
I can jerk off later.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. It's satire.
I mean, I feel like at this point you kind of, or you've earned it. You've gone through a lot.
I've gone through a lot with this person. You know, I will say it is a lesson, because everything is a lesson. Everything's a lesson. It's a lesson in who you let in your house, because you can't just let anybody in.
How do you know, though? How do you know which person you can let in?
Oh, fuck.
That's the real question.
Maybe there's like it's a game of tic-tac-toe at the door. And, you know, if you lose, I'm like,
yeah, if you can't win tic-tac-toe, don't come in here. First time chat throwing asked for Bernie Natalie. I'm on my hands and knees begging you to do a deep dive on Throne of Glass with Jackie, because it is Sarah's best work. We are both separately on book 3 right now. I'm, of course, loving it.
Do they fuck in this book?
Much less fucking.
I thought it was a whole fuck book, and this less fucking. It's about the getting up to it.
No, see, these were written when she was much younger, before maybe she had some experience. So.
Oh, the author was younger?
She started writing this when she was 16.
Wow, I'm impressed. Is she like unproblematic J.K. Rowling? Is that what this is?
Yes, and we're crossing our fingers she's not gonna get online and say something dumb. We love that.
Fingers crossed. Speaking of J.K. Rowling, I've been discovering Kim Petras lately, and I love her. I wanna XXXXXXXXXXXX. I wanna XXXXXXXXXX. It's fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it X or sex you're saying?
It's XXX, but she means sex. You know what I mean? It's
what?
Just what? Oh. If you clutch your pearls, I wouldn't recommend listening to it, but I like it because I like my music fast and furious and fun.
But you want to like sometimes clutch your pearls a little, like, isn't it kind of fun when you see something and you're like, oh my god.
There was definitely a young lady I saw doing stand-up comedy once, and she looked like she was like 16, and she's talking about doing it in the butt, and I wanted to like throw the Old Testament at her and be like, not yet. Not yet.
That's the exact opposite of what she needed. She doesn't need the Old Testament, because that's all just going to be like, you are a whore, you deserve it. You just be like, hey, are you okay? Is everything all right?
Is everything okay at home? Please pick a hobby. Winter Hills Honey, hail Spun Queens. Kim Petras is awesome. We agree. Ding dong.
Yay! I love that for us, because we have only horrible people to talk about today, pretty much. So we all survived the eclipse. I left in the middle of my training, and we looked at it through a colander. It was nice. Aww. But we didn't, we don't have full totality in Los Angeles for this one. So
I
we
don't
didn't get to see
understand how we can't see it, but people in Texas can. It's the same sun.
It's fake! It's fake! It's all fake! There have been some unfortunate crimes based on people freaking out about the eclipse. But I think a lot of it's because they have no understanding of basic elementary school level science. Right. And they're not going to check, so.
No, I had to kind of like cool it with a spirituality TikTok because people were making it seem like this eclipse was the end of the world. And I was like, you'll have some changes, sure, because the moon does kind of harbor some feelings, but don't kill your family.
Somebody, at least one person did. That
Right.
happened. Thanks for that news right before we went on air, Tierzo. Always over here being a clown, giving us bad news.
That's right.
But yeah, it is a really cool spiritual thing in my opinion. But there are tons of eclipses like all the time. They're not that weird.
Right, but this is an eclipse in Aries. I love Aries. You're an Aries. I'm an Aries moon. Cancers. I'm a Cancer, but I've always been attracted or best friends with Aries and like worked with them, and I didn't know why because we're like not supposed to be compatible. But that's my moon. Who would have known?
I think we have so many differences, but like work together and are friends really well.
Right.
Yeah.
I think water and fire go together really well.
Except for all our feuds that we have when we're not on the air. I mean, but that's different.
It's a real bad girls club over here at LPN.
You're just smashing bottles. So yeah, eclipse is over. We keep talking about how we're going to talk about Diddy. You guys, this story is never ending. There is so many insane elements to this that just keep coming. So we're going to have to wait because if I just keep updating, it's just like it's not. There's so many moving parts to how fucking crazy that story is.
Like
Have you followed it?
His son is involved.
Yeah, there's allegedly, and I think I said this last week.
The family that traffics together.
I know they stay together. They are very close. They're tight knit family. The guy who is actively doing this lawsuit right now, Diddy essentially told this guy to film him 24/7, including all of the crimes.
That makes it easy.
It does. Maybe he was doing that to help him out eventually. I love that. So we'll talk about that at some point. And
Ashton Kutcher's connected? That's what somebody said in chat.
Well, that's alleged right now. Again, Ashton's there's something that's going to come out, right? I mean,
I don't know.
He's
He has
really
that-
close to a lot of stuff.
He has that app where you save money. I liked him when he said that he had the school lunch that was reduced because his family was poor.
Sure.
So I
But
could relate to that.
He also got really rich at a very young age, which makes you a bad person.
A
lot of
really
the time.
good spirit.
Yeah.
Good person to hang out with.
Yeah. And also, he was connected to all the Scientology people, which is never a good thing. It seems like he's in very close proximity to a lot of extremely bad people. We'll see, because it kind of sucks because he had that organization Thorn, which still exists, but there's also some complications about their consenting adult sex workers were also getting caught in the fray of they were trying to save kids who are being trafficked online through that site, ironically.
What?
But there's already a big bunch of layers with that's already an issue. But he stepped down from the CEO of Thorn anyway.
What is Thorn?
It's an organization that he and Demi Moore created together that was meant to try to protect, basically find kids who are being trafficked online and to save them.
Oh, and they didn't save them.
Well, I think that probably some good stuff has come out from them. I don't think that's totally fake like the other one, the Sound of Freedom guy. I don't think that's totally.
Help us protect
Here's
childhood
Thorn
joy.
here.
Okay.
So it's basically trying to keep the internet safe for little kids.
I like it on the surface.
Yeah, and I don't think it's totally bullshit, but him being the CEO and then him writing the letter for Danny Masterson saying that he's a really nice guy. He's a really good guy, looked up to him.
That's right. He pulls his pants up and wears a belt. He's a nice guy.
Oh, he's a nice guy. Ugh, he's so spiritual. And now he's directly connected to Diddy because they started bonding a long time ago and they became this sort of duo, I guess. And I don't remember this happening, but in the 2000s that happened.
Wow.
And it sounds like Diddy had a lot of what he would consider fun, what to me sounds like a nightmare. I never really get the kind of parties. We've all gone to parties where people are doing drugs and stuff, right?
Never.
But
Come on.
the kind that very, very wealthy billionaire kind of people have where at a certain hour, they're like, all right, it's going to get real weird in here. And everybody's like doing drugs where they're like suddenly like they feel like they're gargoyles and they're like lights are shooting out of everyone's faces. And they're like, I love this. This is so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand that level of party.
It's because they got to keep pushing it because you have everything you want, so you might as well keep pushing and doing.
Yeah, I do. Maybe there's like a level of your pleasure center when you're handed everything.
Yeah.
Something gets messed up with that, and you just need to keep making things weirder and darker. But I like to smile. I don't know.
I like to smile. And you know what? Who is very unproblematic for rich people? The toy train set collectors. There's a weird store in New York City where it's all like the CEOs go there. Because I wandered in one time and it's all like a little piece like this is like $50. You know, it's an expensive hobby. And I don't know, man. I think that's pretty cool. And that's what I would do if I was a billionaire.
Are you being sponsored by them?
By the toy train, the big toy train company. I would have a toy train set and it would go across rivers and lakes and there'd be people smiling. Unproblematic. That's what we want.
I do love a big, elaborate miniature train set. Those are fun to watch. I'm not going to make one, but...
I'm not going to make one. Oh, Don Beatty's 151 gifted a tier 1 sub to Putty Wop, Putty Wop. Viewer Frey 1, Dusty Man 99, Mara Servi, and Corbin Country Jr. Thank you so much, Don Beatty's 151.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Oh, my teeth look yellow.
Your teeth are beautiful. I'm like looking like this. I'm falling apart.
Nah, we're fine. We're doing great.
We're doing great.
So at the very top here, before we talk about the other two fun topics we have, I want to just bring up Chad Daybell. For anybody who's following that case, his trial just started. So his wife has already been sentenced to essentially life in jail. They killed a bunch of people, most of their family, wives, children, husbands. A lot of people died. Brother died.
Damn. Oh, Brit's Hands, is this in the place of the pod? We're sort of on like a breaky time?
Yeah, we're in between seasons. We're doing weekly right now on the stream. I don't know if we'll continue weekly as the season starts, but right now we're just doing this, and then we'll go back to scripted shows.
It's a little more low-key this stream, and then, you know, when we pick it back up, it'll be more scientific.
Yes, science.
Like a toy train.
Yeah, there'll be science involved. Yeah. So, yeah, this is more chatty kind of show. That's what we do on the stream. So we kind of talk about, like, current cases, current missing people, current things that are exploiting people, that kind of fun stuff. So, yeah, with Chad Daybell, he is now starting his trial. He's been sitting in jail, so it's not like he was, like, having a nice time, thankfully. But they did a lot of really bad stuff in the name of their extremist LDS belief system, but mostly it was just because they wanted to not have their life anymore. I'm pretty sure they just wanted to, like, have a different life. Right. So his trial is starting, and the opening, I was kind of, if you guys haven't followed it at all, the wife of this couple is what we call an Idaho 11.
Ooh, but Idaho's really pretty girls in Idaho.
I'm not, hey, you know what?
Hold your hands up.
All you Idaho people, I believe that. I trust it. I've never been there.
I mean, some of these Midwestern girls are gorgeous, let's be honest.
Of course.
Yes.
She is a very pretty Mormon woman. You know, she's got the full look, the blonde hair, big old bosoms. Oh my God, her abs are stars. I will say that. Wow. She's got beautiful abs. Chad is kind of let's call him an Idaho 3. He is pretty dopey, doughy man. Very convinced that he is an ascended being.
God, they're always ascended beings.
So she got sentenced. She's this, and it's sort of like looking at the two of them like, that's weird. That's an interesting
That's
choice.
why these ugly ass guys have to make religions. Is because they can't get a girl on their own. They just be like, yeah, God said you got to suck my dick.
Yes, correct. But also, she also is trash. She's like a horrible, horrible person.
Right.
But Brit's Hand says used to live in Idaho, Amber lying. So
sorry. I'm trying to stick up for my Midwest girls.
So yeah, he is very much like a kind of guy. tucked in plaid shirt, kind of khaki man. And the opening statement of his defense is they're trying to definitely push this on Lori, saying like Lori was the orchestrator of all this. That's not really true. They definitely both were the perfect storm. They came together. Both of them were like ready. They each needed like one little push to murdering people. But they're going to try to turn it on her and say, you know, and I was like, how are they going to open this defense? And the opening statements happened today, and they did exactly that. They went, basically his defense attorney was like, look at this guy.
He's an idiot.
Come on. You look at this idiot. You think he's gonna kill a bunch of, he doesn't know how to do that.
No.
Do you think what do you think's more likely? He's a mass murderer, or he saw a pair of bosoms shaking in his face and he went, all right? That's basically what the defense started the entire trial out with today.
Funny. Stand up and pull your pants down. Let's all get a good laugh, right?
Yeah, it was like, that is like the way that they're going to have to turn this, I think, because there's so much evidence against him and it looks so bad for him. They're going to have to go with that route. This big dumb idiot? Nah, come on, guys.
He just has one of those hats with the spinny thing on top.
Yeah, it's like for real. What's the saddest part about that to me is that his adult children are going to speak in defense of him, which is crazy. He murdered their mother, and they're going to defend him. And they're not even just saying, apparently they're not even just saying, oh, he got taken by this little sex pot. They're going to try to suggest that, against all evidence, that she just didn't she got sick, and she was always trying to take these weird herbs for her health, and she was like 49-year-old long distance runner, and she died in her sleep, and there's all of this evidence that he definitely planned with Lori to kill her, and his children are still being like, I don't think he did it. Just so fucked up. That's their mom.
Well, they probably have to think that way because like the alternative is to be like, your dad killed your mom. Like,
I know, but
I
like,
couldn't sleep at night.
I guess, but then you are essentially like just spitting in the face of your mom and doing that. Being like, no, we don't want to lose our dad too. Your dad murdered your mother, like murdered her to fuck this other woman.
Damn.
And said it was because they were like married in a past life. It's all of the LDS stuff. They were husband and wife, and they were very, very important people in the past. As of course, they were not just working in a field. They were the lords and ladies of the olden time.
They're always
together.
important. You know what I was doing in my past life? Slopping buckets of pig shit. That was my past life.
And we probably will be in our future lives.
There
too,
we go.
Amber.
Yeah.
So that's started. If anybody's following, it's going to be really interesting to see how it falls. But there's no way he's going to get off on the defense that Lori did all of it.
Damn.
In my opinion.
Oh, true goonie. I used to be LDS. Trigger warning for the next bit. I went into my bishop's office in Idaho and I begged for help. My now ex-husband was extremely violent and abusive. Idaho has a shit ton of issues. The bishop happily sent me home because men in Idaho are allowed to do whatever.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry. I'm glad that your now ex-husband, I'm glad you got away, because it's not gonna end well. He's never gonna wake up one day and be like, oh, I'm sorry.
Without saying too much, our next season is going to be a lot of revolving around the LDS Church.
Oh, and Dom Beatty's 151, you're gifting more subs.
And Dom Beatty's 151. Any more info on that one girl murdered by her mom's boyfriend, Madeline Soto? Not really. They're staying completely silent. Her mom is still not, apparently not being taken in. I'm sure she's being questioned, but she definitely, in my opinion, knew something was going on. We talked about that story a little bit. It's absolutely horrific. But they've released more body cam footage. They've released the 911 calls. All of it doesn't make her mom look any better. It's pretty sus. Her mom didn't even make the 911 calls whenever she didn't make the calls herself. Other people did when she went missing. So
speaking of all of this, like, you know, I was sent home and like they didn't do anything. I was reading this story about this man in Finland a long time ago who like basically murdered his wife, and then because they didn't see it, the courts, he got off. And it makes me wonder, like, all of these low crime communities, especially like in Idaho and Utah, like you think like, oh, I'll be so safe. There's such low crime stats. Are they low because they're low and like nothing's happening, or are they low because no one's reporting it?
I mean, that's a very good question. And I think, yeah, partly at least they're not, especially in those communities where it's even considered like SA and stuff is barely considered a crime, or especially if it's like a spouse or something. So those numbers might look really low. There was a big study about Liberty University, which is a whole nother can of worms of crazy. There was a really good journalistic podcast about it that I can't remember off the top of my head, but basically they were saying, oh, our crime rates are so low, and then all of these women came up forward and were just like, I was gang-ard and you told me not to report it to the police, and that's why the crime rates are low, because we're not allowed to report to anybody.
I hate that.
So
I hate that.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody. We have a hype train. It's 23%, 4 minutes and 34 seconds. If we get that hype train, if we get 100%, we got it! I'm gonna show you my butt.
Oh no, and then we lost our entire channel. You're too sexy for this network.
I did get this bra from Janet Bras. I paid a little more money than I wanted, but I like it.
Oh,
And
I
it
know them, right?
fits good.
They do like cute, like 50s-ish looking.
Yeah, it's like for women with larger members, and I feel like
Members?
I got two big dicks up here.
Oh, right, I forgot.
Right.
It's just big old two dick and balls.
Two dick and balls. There are certain things, like I usually do Goodwill. Like I got this from Marshall's. Like I buy clothes pretty secondhand or cheap or whatever, but like certain things like bras or shoes.
Yeah, you gotta. Sometimes it's better to have less of the clothes, but nicer of quality.
Exactly. I don't want to go panty shopping at Goodwill.
Girl,
I'll go sniffing them though.
you cannot go panty shopping at Goodwill. We need to have if you're doing that, we need to have a conversation.
Write in the chat, has anybody ever panty shopped at Goodwill?
In what world? You can go, listen, I've been so poor. You can get underwear at CVS. There is not any reason that you should be buying secondhand underwear.
I don't know. Orange Other Pop says they wash them. I don't think they wash them.
Anything that has like an extreme discharge that comes onto it,
You pay extra.
you gotta do it new. I'm all about reusing and
Right.
recycling.
Extreme Discharge, that's my drag name.
Yeah, it should be. And that drag queen should be wearing new panties. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, thank you for the poll. We got a poll. Have you bought Goodwill undies? Please let us know in chat.
Please let us know. And were they clean? Did they seem clean? Did you have to rewash them? So let's get into a minute the unfortunate update with the state of abortion access in Arizona.
They're passing a law like no abortion, and I think this was it's like over 100-year-old law. Like there was no like polio vaccine at this time.
Oh yeah, it was like 18. 18 something.
It's such an old, I don't want to say medieval because it's not medieval, but it's just an old antiquated law they're just pulling out. And it's these religious wackos.
And half of it, again, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, half of it is just to be contrarian and to be caustic. It's not, I don't think a lot of those people give a fuck about fetuses or babies or people.
They just want power. And honestly, like, right now, America a lot of us are drowning. A lot of people have debt. They can't afford to feed their families. And then here comes these far-right Christian nationalists that are like, if you just listen to us, we've got the key. We've got the golden key.
Well, they also do the good deflecting of be mad at other people who have no control. Be mad at other poor people. Don't look over here.
Right.
Be angry about these feminist cunts.
These feminist
cunts. Can you say that on Twitch?
Cunts? We'll see.
All right, Tirza says yes.
All right.
Yeah, so why
they just hate women, right? Thanks
yeah, it's a lot about contempt and just doing the antithesis of what they see people, who are more liberal doing. That's what it seems like, a little bit of a contrarianism to me. But it also gets attention and money. So there's that. There is, do you want to pop up that first article?
Project 2025. Yeah, Demon Limerick. I know about it.
So this is just a random AP article, but the headline obviously says it is a weird stance to take because, yeah, you're going to get the rage and you're going to get the fanatics really excited, but conservative people get abortions too. They do all the time. Sometimes they're forced into it by people who pretend like they don't support abortions. They happen.
If you're from a rich family and you're underage, yeah, of course.
Or, you have a mistress and she gets pregnant. Guess who gets an abortion then?
Or maybe you're on a podcast that will not be named and you get your girlfriend pregnant and you tell her to get an abortion. And they're very conservative, like, you just got to close your legs, you whores. And, like, you tell...
Anyone guess in the comments which podcast that is?
I don't want to name these guys. They are fools.
So they are now making it so that essentially any abortion for any reason is not allowed. There's no waiting period. There's no rape, incest, nothing is what they're trying to push.
Can we go full Bible on them and be like, so next time you spill your seed and masturbate, like you have to cut your hand off? I don't know.
But those kind of people half of those people don't even read the Bible.
They just make it up. I was raised Southern Baptist and I didn't know until recently that the devil and Lucifer are two different things.
Because, did they tell you to scour your Bible, or did they say to listen to the preacher?
They just say listen to the preacher. And I remember saying, I want to take Bible study. I want to go to an intensive Bible study to learn
extra. That sounds like witch talk to me.
Well, they were like, you're not meant to do that. You're meant to serve your husband and listen. And I was like, oh. And so, now, today, I'm, purposely daft on stuff. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Deuteronomy. Did one of those this morning.
Deuteronomy, deuter.
John Beatty's 151. Holy shit!
What happened?
He just gave us more subs.
He or she or they?
Yeah, gifted tier 1 sub. The Walt verse, Arcaninox, Mob Shacks, Psycho John rules.
Are you having a stroke?
808.
Oh, okay. I don't. One day I'll understand Twitch. I don't. Still.
One day, I love it. Thank you.
Yes. So, yes, exactly. Throwing ass for Bernie. Throwing ass for Bernie. Many close friends who've had abortions, not a single one isn't grateful for the freedom to, which is the whole point. You can hate abortions all you want. You don't ever have to have one.
Just don't have one.
You cannot hold somebody down and force them to have a baby. You can't. Sorry.
No, and I find it's really sad because there's some women that can't have kids. I've seen them on TikTok or on Twitch or not X. Sorry, that site that will not be named that I haven't been on.
Oh, wait, go ahead, keep going.
And she was just throwing pregnancy tests at the screen and crying and being like, I can't have a kid and how dare you get an abortion. I'm like, girl, this has nothing to do with you. You are hysterical.
Yeah, way to make it about yourself, I guess. But, okay, I know that I tried to do this before. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it close enough, but...
It's gone.
Deactivated. Goodbye.
Mine's gone, too.
Bye.
Bye, X. Mine's gone. I'm out.
I'm out.
I think the last tweet I saw was somebody saying that Amanda Bynes hit the wall, and I was like, oh, you mean the girl that was trafficked and drugged as a child? And I got out.
It's not going to do anything good for your mental health.
Bad.
And what can you gain from that information?
Also, eating disorders are rampant on there. I'm surprised that's legal somehow when they're proposing basically slow death.
I mean, it's that weird nebulous thing. They're not necessarily technically breaking any laws.
Right.
Same thing with exploiting your kid online. You're not breaking a law. It's just a moral boundary that most people
don't understand.
I think most people do understand, hopefully, but there's some people who don't.
Oh, Aunt Baby, my mom heard a story about children on Instagram, asked me if I heard about it, so I went full spun. Love you. Yes. I mean, I'm sad about the kids.
Did you scream in her face how fucking dare you?
How fucking dare?
Are you looking at them?
But because we've been talking about kids being exploited online for a long time, and I think now, I'm not saying we did anything, but I think the world is on a collective unconsciousness.
Yes, I think that there's a lot bigger discussion, especially more mainstream, news articles and stuff like that are really taking focus on it, which is not our doing, but I'm glad that they are. because it is. I don't know how everybody's not upset by this all the time. It's freaking insane. Speaking of freaking insane, you want to play the TikTok that about the Arizona abortion?
Let it be so, Father God. Let it be so. Let it be so.
That happened this week,
They're
this
just
year.
praying in tongues, like they're guests of the guy that made the law.
Right now, we just release the presence of
What's going on?
Our government in the year 2021.
What in the biblical hell is going on?
It's it would be fun and funny if it wasn't about this.
Yeah.
I would laugh about it because like I enjoy that level of chaotic energy.
Right, but this is people with spiritual psychosis
Yeah.
that are making our laws that affect our bodies, our livelihoods, the future generation.
Also, people who would definitely not know the body parts of a woman if you like had a chart.
They don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and they don't even know what they're talking about with the Bible. Like, what are you doing?
Just, I guess,
Making shit up. That's all. They're just making shit up now. Can I go run? Can I run for president and just make shit up? Like, in the Bible, it says all men should cut their own fucking dicks off. Like,
you definitely
should I
could
do
run
that?
on that. Yeah, you could. Maybe
Sorry,
you
I
should
got
try.
mad. I don't think all men should cut their dick. I do love men.
What
I
about your
love men.
chest dicks?
No, don't cut me off. No.
Just 4 balls.
People
2
saying I
dicks.
should do it. People saying I should run on the
so-
cut your dick off
Yeah,
campaign.
that shit happened this week on the Senate floor. Those were people who were brought in by a guy in the Senate his name is Anthony Kern, if you want to pull the Guardian article up.
What's he look like?
So he is the doughy-ish, he's the one that looks a little bit like Harold from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, the Scarecrow made out of skin.
Oh, so
He
he's
looks
the
like
one on the
him.
left?
He's the one on what we're looking at on the right here.
On the right, yeah.
Yeah, I guess they're both different looking scarecrows. You're correct. So those are 2 really cool dudes, but the one on the right there is Anthony Kern, and he's the person who led all of those nice people to the floor so
Lovely people.
They go hamana 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 hamana.
Can I go in there with a chicken and cut its head off and be like, yeah, that's my religion? Just like spew blood everywhere?
Well, see, that's sort of what the Church of Satan. I always forget the Satanic Temple. I'm sorry, the Satanic Temple is that's what they do. They go in and they want to put Baphomets up, and they want to make the statement saying essentially, if you want to have freedom of religion in this way, you can't just say, well, this one religion gets to do all of this shit. We're going to also then practice our Satanism, even though that's an atheistic belief system.
Right.
We're going to put the Baphomet up.
It's just trolling.
It is essentially, but it's trolling for a reason to like mirror the hypocrisy and also the like lunacy of all of this.
There was a guy that knocked down a Baphomet statue, and I think everybody was praising him on X. I remember that, and they're like, "He's a good man, and we got it." And I was like, "You're all idiots."
Well, yeah, there was
Every
just,
last one.
Somebody just left a bomb at one of their temples.
What?
The other day. It didn't detonate, but they've had their buildings burned down, like all this stuff. So it's it's the same kind of mentality of people who are like trying to bomb Planned Parenthoods and stuff as though they're doing
terrorists.
Yeah, it's domestic terrorism for sure.
You guys are just terrorists, these fucking people.
Like, you're gonna kill people to save other people. Yeah, so this is the one that just happened.
Whoa.
Nobody got hurt, fortunately, but they've had their buildings burned down and stuff too. And it's in Salem, which is very proactive and very witchy already, and there's a lot of support there, but there's still people in there who are still just looking at like the rainbow flag and hearing the word devil or seeing like devil horns, and they just have that automatic knee-jerk reaction to just like lose their minds and just like they're doing that. Well, they are helping people get abortions, so I guess that's why they're mad.
Yeah.
They have started abortion centers essentially during all of this. They've been like very proactive in it.
Okay,
but
that's good.
This guy Anthony Kern, I just thought would be important to note.
Y'all
A guy
can't.
like this who's like he is just doing the Lord's work, right? Well, these guys you always look 3 steps behind. Do you think that he is just like a chill guy who's been minding his own business, just really loves babies. You think that's?
No, he probably got a girl pregnant and tried to get her an abortion.
I mean,
All those
we don't
fucking
know.
guys have. Every last one of them.
Quite possible. I'm just gonna go ahead and
pro-lifers.
say he did. What are you gonna do, Anthony Kern? You gonna come get me?
Sorry, I'm being the one that's a heel right now, and you're spitting facts, and I'm just like, no, fuck yeah.
I need your heel. I need your heel at all times. Step on me, Amber. So, if you want to look at the next one there. So, guess what? Guess where he was, guys? He was an insurrectionist. They caught him outside, and he claimed that he didn't go inside, and then they found video of him inside with the other people who broke into the Capitol. Not only that, he used campaign money for his campaign to take the trip to Washington, D.C. So he used the campaign funds for all of his Arizona
So
stuff.
he can't be in office.
Well, it's crazy because you know what else he is he's an election denier. So he was one of the people whenever they were trying to overthrow the election for Trump. He's a huge, his Twitter picture is him and Trump just like next to each other. He loves him. He was one of the people who tried to not let the election go through all the way. And there's some of his insurrection index information.
Is it weird that I look at this guy's face and I can like envision his balls slapping against my pussy and I want to yell at him? No, that's disgusting.
I think that's intrusive thoughts.
That's hard. Yeah, that's just intrusive. That's like me standing on a cliff looking over and jumping off. He just looks like a pervert.
His eyes do look sort of like horizontal vaginas. You know, like two vaginas.
He just looks like
Oh,
a
you could
fucking
fuck his
pervert.
eyes with your
My two
chest dicks.
dicks.
Oh my god, that's perfect. So yeah, he allegedly used campaign money to attend January 6th because I guess he couldn't use his own cash. Not only that, if you want to pop his Wikipedia page up there for a sec, he has done all of these things and also was fired from being a police officer. He was fired from terminated from the job, and then he was put on, what's it called, Brady's List? I think that's what it's called.
Brady list, yeah.
Brady List. It's basically a list of cops who have been essentially dishonorably discharged.
Whoa, what'd he do?
Nothing that seemed that crazy, but I don't know that, like, also they might not be even revealing what he did to get terminated, but it was like, it's a shameful list to be on, and he tried to overthrow his name he basically used his status as a politician, like an elected official, to try to get his name removed from that list. And then they realized he did all this shit that should bar you from being a politician in power, but it just keeps going like, oh, we stop him. Oh no, he can't do that. No, stop it. And they just keep pulling the things away from him like he's a little bad baby. But he just
is a
keeps
bad
getting
baby.
to run for office.
Who do we contact to get him out? Like, is there like a 911 for assholes? I don't know, 911.
I think that's what we're doing. This is it.
Are we the 911?
And we can't do anything. So
I know. What am I going to do?
We're going to have to go have an insurrection at his house, I guess. Let's use Patreon money from LPN to go to an insurrection at his house.
Oh, just like pets, steaks.
Yeah, just I know what you did last summer. Yeah, so that guy sucks. Speaking of guys that suck, this is another thing
Cop is his sun sign. Strange Rock, that's funny.
What do you say?
They said cop is his sun sign. They also said, somebody said he looks like a rotten chicken.
Oh, he also, another thing that he did is he lied about his qualifications. He claimed to be a trained civil peace officer or something. He used a title that was not actually, he had never earned.
Making shit up.
Yeah. So that's the guy who led all of those people out onto the Senate floor, just prayed and prayed and prayed against us monsters, us little baddies, who mostly have never broken a law before.
Can Joe Biden step in and be like, get his ass out of here? Because
He's not gonna.
the president, or does he not know what's going on?
You know, a little bit of that, both. I think not knowing what's going on, and also there's just, he's making some bad choices anyway, and there's just a bunch of other shit happening.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Are we in a failed state? Is there going to be a civil war?
No, we've already discussed this. Those people who are screaming for that would be like, oh, like I have to get off my phone? The insurrection was this, they got in and then they just were like, oh, and then they did TikToks. I mean, there was horrible shit. They like shit on the walls and stuff. It was disgusting, but that's what happened. Yeah. Yeah, okay, 5 people died. Okay, yes, 5 people died.
Oh, the lady, Babbitt, I think she was shot by a cop or something.
Oh, you mean that hero? Yeah, she did. But on another note at the end here, this has nothing to do with Arizona or Anthony Kern, but please feel free to leave any thoughts or opinions in the
We love it. Let's keep making fun of them.
This is just another story that has touched a little bit on something else we've covered on the show, which is, we'll call it sex tourism, but a lot of times it's just SA tourism.
Oh, the passport bros.
So
I'll be honest, there's a T-shirt they have I kind of want.
it is kind of a funny,
It's
but
kind
we
of funny.
can't give them money, man.
No, I'm not giving. Yeah, it's like $70 too.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second.
Yes.
So this is a story that's been in the social media sphere for the last week or so. This is about a guy named Timothy Allen Livingston.
Have you heard of Timothy Allen Livingston? He is currently wanted by Colombian authority after he was caught leaving a hotel room with a 12-year-old and a 13-year-old girl. Timothy was reported by another person who saw him try to go into the hotel with the 2 girls on March 28th. But it turns out that on March 27th, he tried to bring in 2 other underage girls, but the security guards stopped them because they had fake IDs. He was initially arrested, but without cops having enough proof, they had to let him go. And as soon as they let him go, he fled to Florida, and now it turns out he might be back in his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. And by the way, Timothy's story might be the most recent, but it's not unique. White dudes from the US going down to Latin America to have sex with underage girls is now a common practice. They're known as passport bros. Just a few weeks before Timothy, the US arrested 2 other white guys for doing the same thing Timothy did. The people of Colombia are fed up with these passport bros, and they're really trying to crack down, including the new mayor of Medellin. That's why Colombia is so serious about bringing Timothy to justice and trying to show other people who try to come to Colombia for this reason that they will not stand for that. My heart goes out to all the people who've been hurt by this, and please look out for Timothy. He is still on the run.
These men need a flamethrower.
That was via the TikToker My Undocumented Ass, which is a fun TikTok handle. There's some hard coping in those comments too, because some of them are going, hey, it's not just white guys. It's like, okay, yeah, you're right. It's
Okay,
not
thanks.
just white guys. You're correct.
Right.
Is that your only defense that you're going with? Yeah, so that guy, Cleveland in the house, everybody. Who are my Clevelandites at? This is your boy.
How much you want to bet he goes on X talking about hitting the wall?
I mean, that's who would be writing that on social media.
Because they want to have 12-year-olds. And think about, like, I know we, like, say 12-year-olds, but, like, imagine your brain, like, what a 12-year-old acts like. They can barely tie their shoes.
Yeah, it's absolutely
What the fuck is their
horrifying on every level.
problem?
And you know what? I'll go ahead and say not just men, too. There was a really crazy, I don't remember the woman's name from today. I just watched a story. She's a 23-year-old who was pretending to be 14, having sex with other 13 and 14-year-olds, like many of them. And then
Oh, is this the Florida girl?
I don't remember where she's from, but her defense is that she has anxiety.
I have anxiety. I gotta have sex with kids.
Which is so 2024. She said, like, her parents essentially were saying she suffers, and that's why she goes for these kids, 'cause she has anxiety, guys.
What is up with people blaming their bullshit on anxiety? I get anxiety.
I am deeply medicated for it. It's
Yeah.
fine. But have you tried having sex with because
I guess there's something special in there.
yeah, I guess so.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so this whole phenomenon is crazy. We've talked about this form of tourism. We talked about it when we've discussed some South American topics that we've had, but it's not obviously just in South America, but it is largely American and North American, largely men are traveling to these more, less wealthy countries and using their big American dollars to do horrific things. And there has just been this, especially because of social media, which is a great reason to have social media, people who work in law out in, Colombia and these countries where people are going, saying, quit acting like we don't give a shit. We do, and we're going to fucking chase you down. You're not coming here, and we're not going like, thank you, American men, for coming, please. No. People are fucking furious that you're doing this because it's disgusting and it's horrifying. You are a bad person. And so there's this entire, I guess now we're calling it a thing. The first mention I saw of it was in 2023, but I had never seen this. I don't think I'd ever heard this expression before, but passport bros is an entire movement. And it's sort of a newer aged version of mail order brides is what they used to be called back in the day, right?
Because they're just so done with these modern feminist women.
So this is a website that I found that made my jaw fall to the floor, and I just stared in disbelief. There is this group, this company that is trying to cutify going and getting impoverished women from poor countries to, as though they're doing they're almost like painting it as they're doing like a charity or something.
Oh, right, because they're contributing to the economy.
What? Okay, so I get that what they're saying here is they're not saying, oh, we're helping you to traffic children. They're using the guise of you Western women, oh God, with all of their thoughts, like these other women definitely don't have thoughts and opinions. Certainly not. We don't want all these feminist women, so we're helping men find traditional women in other countries. And they're using that lens, but it is trafficking, and it is preying upon people who we've I guess socially said we're not making this illegal, so you can go do this in this country. The countries are not agreeing to that, but these guys are making it sound like they're doing this. They're trying to make it look cute. Is this website not terrifying anyone else?
And there's been men that have been killed down there because you can't just go to somebody's country.
And all the civil rights imagery here. This is nice. I like this.
It is.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Look at old new rules where we purchase people.
These guys
That's
are
old
idiots.
rules, actually. That's quite old rules. This is dystopian to me. I don't know. It looks like something out of a 90s futuristic dystopian movie. Are we kidding with this?
I saw a video on TikTok of children in the Philippines, and they were being married off to this American guy, and all the comments were just in support. And look at this.
Who? What? Oh, where
These
were
were men. I've sent you some of the comments.
Was this on Twitter?
No, this was on TikTok.
Oh God.
This was on there. Truly
But
disgusting.
they won't let me
human
put my
beings.
fire videos up?
No.
I've had another one, they wouldn't let me have it up. My fire stunt videos, I tried another one on TikTok, and they're too dangerous. But that's fine?
That's fine. Just showing little girls being married off way too early.
Damn. So, okay, so
What did
Some
I guess
of these-
people just don't see women as human.
Well,
I
yeah,
guess.
for sure. I guess so. But some of these guys are trying to do the, whoa, we're not trafficking kids. We're just trafficking women, adult women, and we're calling them partners. We're buying them,
Right. They look at us as like a bag of flour or a cow or something. You just buy them.
You know why, though? Those fucking dudes would be the most boring human beings on earth to talk to. They have nothing to say. That's why they have to talk to freaking kids.
Yeah.
What are they going to talk about?
I went on a date with a guy who said he went to Thailand for Muay Thai, and I saw his body language. He doesn't study Muay Thai. He kept bumping into tables, and he had big birthing hips. And not to body shame, but fuck him, he was there to do something Gross. And then he was like, can you walk me to my car? And I said, where'd you park? And he just motioned this way. And it was like down a dark alley. And I was like, nah. And then I go home. And then he just keeps sending me all these messages about how I should have walked with him and how dare I and you modern women. And I'm like, man, I'm not going to walk with you down this dark alley. I just met you at a
What
wine
does that
bar.
have to do with being a modern woman?
These men are
He wasn't
fucking
walking
crazy.
you to your car.
No!
The traditional thing would be him walking to your car. You walking him to his car is the opposite of traditional.
He was insane, and I blocked him.
Was this? Wait, did you say this was a Tinder?
No, this was on X. He just messaged me and was like, "Hey, so I watch you. I'm a fan."
Oh,
no,
good. Are you here right now, sir?
No, he didn't say he was a fan. He's like, "Yeah, so I watched a couple of your stuff, and I see you live in Hollywood. Do you want to go out?" And I was feeling randy, and I was like, "Yeah, let's meet at this bar." And it was like away from my place. And we met, and then I got the icky vibes, and he said like he spent like months in Thailand studying Muay Thai. Sir, you knocked over 3 wine glasses. You did not study Muay Thai.
Well, if those wine glasses were men, they would have been destroyed. You know? So maybe he did. Wow. That is
Wizard Duty,
great.
thank you for subscribing with Prime.
So this, thank you. Is that good?
Yeah.
This concept, this phenomenon that they're calling passport bros is not a new thing, but the idea of them making it like it's like using the pastel QAnon equivalency of just being like, look, we're using stock art where everybody's like, yay, I love this. And like they're trying to make it look like that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I got sucked into pastel QAnon. Like during 2020 lockdown, I was like looking for healthy stuff. And I found these women that had the beige sort of vibe. And they were like, just take bee pollen and it will all go away. And I was like, wait, why is my feed being...
One of those ladies just killed her whole family during the eclipse.
Yeah.
So that happened.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it was her health or wellness.
Oh, Throwing Ass for Bernie, very funny name. What is pastel QAnon? Pastel QAnon is like, the QAnon of like, the government's out to get you. I mean, maybe they are.
They are, but like not like that.
So that's why you can get in these movements, is because you're like, oh, it does suck today. Yeah, I do want to be a part of something very revolutionary. They're basically terrorists, but they do this sort of like pastel beige.
It like basically oh, there you go. It basically targets primarily people like stay-at-home moms, young women, people who might also be interested in like new age health. The crunchy, like not trusting. Suddenly you're like, oh wait, doctors are bad, right?
Doctors
wait a
are
second.
bad.
Everyone's making everything up. Science is not real.
Everything's lying to you. And I honestly think that's why the lockdown in America shut down, because so many people were going towards QAnon.
I mean,
that's just my personal theory.
that's like a conspiracy on a conspiracy, which I love. I love it. Like I love a ladder system of it. Yeah, I mean, partly, but yeah. So pastel QAnon is essentially the dark web black pilled ideas, but packaged to be like cute and fun.
Cute. You don't need to go to the doctor. You don't need vaccines. They give you cancer. Come on, just take bee pollen.
Think about like a young mom in a field wearing a big brim hat. And that's what pastel QAnon is.
Right. What is this? Gateway messaging. Is that what I fell for?
Ooh, gateway messaging, yeah. For sure.
Probably.
Yeah, because all of us we're all susceptible in some way or another to that kind of shit.
We are. I am an idiot, but I think that my good sense is I talk a lot. And I talk, and then people are like, wait, Amber, what? And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah, they wouldn't like totally let you into a cult because you just keep asking questions and then they'd be like, get her out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. So I don't love what's happening within that community. What are we doing here? We're just going to market this now as like a normal thing? We're just going to normalize this is purchasing women? Is that, we're just doing that now? Okay, cool. Just checking. This is an issue in many countries. It's not just, and I think some people also then immediately do kind of the stereotype with this that Well, the age of consent in South America is technically much, much lower than here. So if you look at it on a map, I'm just like pulled up the age of consent in South America.
Again, this is with like those laws that are like, or there's things where like, oh, but there's low crime rates. Don't worry about it.
Well, that, and so, yeah, I also fervently disagree with their ages of consent. But you look at their map right now, it's like between 13 and 16 in a lot of South America, depending on where you are. That's
13?
Yes, it's horrible.
We gotta raise that age. Joe Biden.
He can't do anything in South America.
I like ice cream, Jack. 13's too young.
She should be having an ice cream cone. Which, how wholesome is he, right? Oh,
Is he,
what
though?
didn't he have? Oh, look at him. He's just a fun old grandpa.
I did see him pick up a baby pacifier off the ground and put it in his mouth. That's the
He's
video.
not a weirdo. It's fine. Just shut up. Just shut up. The election's coming. So if you look at the age of consent in North America, it looks a lot higher. 16, 18, 17. Still too young, but I think the stereotype is like, oh, well, they just don't care about that. Except the things we've talked about on this show, that is misleading, the age of consent, because you can still marry a baby in this country in many states.
Right.
If you find the judge who will do it for you.
Gotta groom your wife.
It's also the stereotype, I think, that these passport bros are kind of saying, women in other countries, they don't have thoughts and opinions. They don't care. They just want to be your child brides. They love it. Look at this. The government's saying it's fine. That's not true. That's not the case.
Yeah.
And we cannot act like that's normal.
If anything, they just want that American visa, and they're gonna divorce your ass.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the 90-day fiance idea. But,
Yeah, what Puppet Jared said, he blames 90 Day Fiance.
but it's so fun to watch. Come on.
I've never seen it.
It's pretty entertaining. I'm not
Am
gonna
I
lie.
a bitch if I say I don't have a TV? Because I don't.
Yeah, you're a bitch. You bitch. We don't have, is Tears at 6:30? Okay, we'll just go over a couple minutes here.
Okay.
I just wanted to do the real quick at the end of this, that Finance Colombia, the TikToker mentioned this article too, but so there are these two other guys they just recently arrested. This guy
Ew.
at the top is obviously a creep. But I just wanted to also point out the other guy who, for whatever reason, his name and face are being omitted from all articles.
Why?
So this guy is a perv and a creep, and they arrested him. This other guy, they did a raid on him. They're only calling him, basically what translates to the chemist. This man is 48 years old and a U.S. citizen. He is a monster, and all the articles blur his face out, and they will not release his name.
They have to protect him, Natalie. The
Why?
child rapist gotta protect.
I do not understand why they're doing that. I'm sure that there's somebody who could explain why they're doing that.
Maybe he
but
works for like Lockheed Martin or something.
I'm like, that's my question. See, I'll get into conspiracy world.
Let's do it.
Who is this person? He is like drugging and R-ing children in Colombia, and they arrested him. He is disgusting, but I did find not an English video of the raid on him. Did you guys manage to pull that video?
Ooh,
You want to pop
we're
it up
gonna
real
see
quick?
Go Time. Yes.
They still won't show his
Es así
face
como
in
la
it,
Policía
but
Nacional ha adelantado una ofensiva en contra de pedófilos internacionales,
If anybody
peligrosos
can
delincuentes
translate
que
anything that's being
pretenden
said,
afectar a
too.
nuestros niños, niñas y
they're
adolescentes.
basically
En
saying that they got
coordinación
this
con la
guy.
Oficina de Investigación de
American
Seguridad Nacional
citizen.
de los Estados Unidos, HCI,
Here's the raid
y
on
con el
the
apoyo de la
building.
Fiscalía General de la Nación, hemos logrado 11 importantes capturas de peligrosos delincuentes.
See, they
La captura más
fucking
reciente
don't want
se
you doing
trata
this
de
to
un
little
ciudadano
kids.
norteamericano
No.
Okay?
quien
It's
tenía
almost
48
insulting to
años.
them. So it's like,
Yes,
oh yeah, I
of
can
course,
come to your
super
country and like
insulting.
hurt your
A
children,
Colombia,
and what are you gonna do
específicamente a
about it?
Bogotá,
So
y se
the
trasladaba
kids
a
are
Medellín.
blurred. These are
Este sujeto
children.
se hacía llamar alias el
And
químico.
They kind of
y
vaguely show the guy
contactaba
with his
a
face
sus
not
víctimas,
shown.
a través
Here.
de
So,
fuentes digitales, además a
fuck
través
is
de
this?
perfiles falsos. con 6 víctimas documentadas que tenemos.
And they
y
show
quienes
him like
nos
kind of
entregaron
getting
la
arrested and being, look at all this,
nos
drugs,
dan a conocer
alcohol. These
cómo
are like 12,
delincuente las
13-year-old
contactaba,
kids
les ofrecía
with him.
altas sumas de dinero,
And he's called a
las
chemist
ubicaba en un
because
lugar en el
he had
municipio de
drugs
Bello,
and he would just
y
like bring
luego
kids
las
up to have
obligaba
parties with
a
him.
The
tener
chemist is cool,
relaciones
too cool a
sexuales
name.
So this is a
y
fucking,
tener
this is a
cualquier
U.S.
tipo
citizen.
de vejámenes
Throw
de
his
este
ass
tipo.
in jail.
48-year-old
Además, las
man from the
obligaba al
U.S.
consumo de
Throw
sustancias
the key away.
estupefacientes.
Why won't they
Se
tell
valía
you his name?
He's got to work for somebody. I bet he's like involved something. That's why they're blurring it.
It's so crazy to me.
You are drugging and raping children, and we're protecting your identity.
Yeah,
Fuck
you gotta protect him.
Burn
Go
in
protect
hell.
him. All right, let's end with a fun video. We're at the end of time.
I hate these fucking guys so much. I want to die. Speaking of rage, we have a fun video. Here's somebody with a little bit of red rage.
So this guy in front of me has like a puppet, and he's in the car by himself, but it looks like his puppet's like
Chewing him out.
Chewing him out.
Oh, the puppet's yelling at the
think he's-
driver?
Yeah.
He's just talking to himself.
Do you think he slept with the puppet's wife?
Probably.
Dude, I'm dying.
Do you think his like
This
mouth
guy
is
is
shut?
chewing himself out.
Throwing
with,
his voice?
with a puppet.
That puppet's got places to go. He's stuck in traffic. Do you think the puppet was telling him he has to stop going to foreign countries
Right.
and spending all of his money?
Stop it. There was another video I was gonna
Maybe that was the guy from the raid.
Gotta protect him at all costs. There was another video I was going to show, but there's a guy, you know those cosmic brownies done by Little Debbie?
Oh, yeah.
He's driving by the truck and he's like, God, if you love me, you'd flip this truck right now. Yeah.
Everyone died on that
Everyone did.
fiery crash. But man, there was a lot of brownies for everybody.
In the cosmic brownie truck raid. Oh, and the Nutter Butter fire.
The cosmic brownie would have been a good thing to eat during the eclipse. I should have
It's
thought of that.
cosmic.
Yeah, it's space.
Well, I got mad and then I got happy.
That's what it's just a roller coaster of emotions with us.
Oh, we've got someone that wrote in, Egg Pod.
I don't normally get to catch a live stream. It's 11 a.m. here. I just want to quickly say that I love what you do. I know you're having some doubts about this content. It's so important. I'm a teacher in social media and children. Your teacher. Social media and children is so scary, and more people need to be out there talking about it. I love the long-form deep dives. Keep fighting the good fight. Oh, thank you so much, Egg Pod. Thank you for being a teacher. I can't even imagine how difficult that is in this modern time.
Right.
To just, when I read stories about how some teachers are the only people who feed a kid or who are the only safe adult in a kid's life, it's just like, how can you be any more sad than it's just heartbreaking, man.
Yeah.
No, now I'm more sad again.
No, something happy. The super bloom. There's a super bloom.
So many allergies, though. Who's on Tears of a Clown tonight?
Jeremy
Kaplowitz.
All right, well, Tears of a Clown is coming up in 25 minutes with somebody named Jeremy Kaplowitz, who I'm sure is amazing, and I should know who he is, and I am sorry.
Heidi Allen. Are we going to do Heidi Allen?
Oh, I don't know who Heidi Allen is.
Write us, let us know. But we have a bunch of subs tonight. Oh my God, Winters, you go.
Winter Hills Honey, Aunt Baby, XAR626, Raven Hallow, Dirk Dacker, Lissa 1387, Wizard Duty, and Dumb Beauties 151 gifted 30 subs tonight. Holy shit.
Real MVP, CEO.
The CEO of subbing, this SE, never mind.
Oh,
I'm
and
done.
SMEEAH subscribed to Tier 1. They subscribed for 4 months. We're doing it tonight. We're rocking and rolling. I love you guys.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah, we will.